Hello. My name is Scott Mertens, and I am the I'm the director of bands at Sycamore Middle School. Um, so it's always a very fun night. The first time we get to play together as a 7th and 8th grade group together on this music. It's a lot of things to put together, so thank you for being patient as we get out here on stage. The first song we're going to play, it features our snare drummer, who got sick right before we started. so we're unfortunately you won't hear the snare drum part. So there is supposed to be a snare drum part, and it was fantastic. It was really good, but it's one of those things that happens in a middle school concert, and that's okay. But anyway, these guys have worked really hard on this music, and it's a really wonderful piece by Randall Standridge on Grand Mesa Publishing. This is Darkland's March. On May 1st, many of our 7th and 8th grade instrumentalists are going to be going to Northern Illinois University and play in a group with other middle school musicians from other schools in our conference, the North Central Junior Conference. That would be Burlington, DeKalb, Belvedere, and Rochelle. Those are the main ones. And I'd like to introduce those students who will be joining us out of the 7th grade group for that. On flute, Kate Elsner. On oboe, McKenna Ndeshu. On clarinet, Miranda Zhang and Bella Juarez. On trumpet, Jose Aviles. You guys can go ahead and stand up, by the way. Be recognized. John Riley on trombone. Let's see. Haley King on baritone, and Jessica Bolda on tuba. And a few more of our 7th graders will have an opportunity to participate in that next year as well. It's a lot of fun. They get together with their peers from other schools, and they play songs that I have given out to them. And in fact, we're having an NCJC practice this Friday after school. The end time is going to be a little shorter than I originally planned. At the latest 4:15, I will be sending out an email with regards to that, because I now have an evening engagement that I have to be at. But we will be having a rehearsal on the NCJC music. So anyway, the second piece that we're playing by ourselves is, it kind of falls into the category I've told a lot of students over the years. One of our goals is to try to scare people, and hopefully this song will exist on this. It will succeed in that. Okay. This is a song called Apparitions, which you guys know are what? Ghosts, yes. So we want to try to very much create a sort of an eerie feeling, and I think we'll do that on this. Try it again. 1, second measure, right here, and 1. Third measure. 1, 2. have a really brief break, and we'll bring the 8th graders up on stage and bring the 7th graders back over here for a little bit before we start again. Thank you. This is that time where they realize, oh, yeah, maybe we don't all sit like 6 places away from each other. Maybe we move together like a band does. They're so focused on the music, they're not worried about the spatial relations aspect of it. I can relate. Thank you. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. One of the neat things about 8th grade band is that you get to play real music. How many of you out there have heard of Rafe Vaughan Williams? Like Vaughan Williams, many of you who were in band once upon a time might have played like First and Second Suite, Folk Song Suite. Let's see, he did the Green Sleeves, variations on Thomas Tallis. He did a lot of songs. This is actually written for wind band, one of the earliest pieces, and it's a classic of the rep. And we had the brass this year to pull this song off, so I'm really happy to do this. This is Flourish for Wind Band. Before I forget, I'd like to recognize those students who were going to be involved in NCJC coming up on May 1st. From the band, on flute we have Emma Fredericks and Amanda Fitzpatrick. On oboe we have Kurth Judd. On bassoon we have Ryan Blank. And you guys can go ahead and stand up and recognize. You should be proud. Yeah, that's good. Okay, on clarinet, Camden Buchanan. On alto saxophone, Robbie Melnick. On tenor saxophone, Julia Mead. On baritone saxophone, Mr. Jonathan DeLuga. There you go, woodwinds. There you go. Woodwinds, you can go ahead and sit down. For brass, we have Trigvi Villasek on trumpet. Let's see, Ivan Butsky on trumpet. Reese Norton also on trumpet. And then on horn, Sabrina Ezel on horn. On trombone, Ben Neal and Nathan Troy. On baritone, Mr. Christian McConkey. On tuba, Mr. Vinny Burrito. Anybody I'm forgetting over there? And in percussion, Mr. Alex Clark. Nice job. We also have a couple students who can't make it because they're playing with the Community School of the Arts Orchestra that day. We have Jake Rundle on oboe and Colin Warner over on trombone. They'll be busy. What are you guys playing on the concert? What songs are you playing? Fanfare for the Common Man? No. This is what I get for not working this out ahead of time. It's okay. They're playing great orchestral music on that. So, and that's a wonderful opportunity that our students have going into high school. If you want to kind of take on some other possibilities with regards to music, I know they've enjoyed that group. They meet on Wednesday nights, and they're a wonderful opportunity. If you have any questions, check in with the Community School of the Arts office, 753-1450 in Northern Illinois University. So yes, this is Great Ballad, When the Stars Began to Fall. A little sneak preview. We're going to be marching again for the Memorial Day Parade. We, meaning the 7th and the 8th grade marching, 7th and 8th grade bands. Part of the reason that we have our concert this early is so that we can start to prepare for that, which is on Memorial Day, as you might imagine. You'll be getting some more information on that. We're going to try to find out exactly who's going to be able to be there that day. This year it actually falls within the school year, thanks to all the snow that we kept getting and still getting last Sunday. So I was at a concert that day, and the director introduced. I was at the Rockford Wind Ensemble concert, and the director was like, "Yeah, I'd like you to welcome you to our 4th winter concert that we've had in the past 8 months." So anyway, but I just want to give awareness. 7th grade, many of them will probably need lyres and/or flip folders. If they haven't given you that information yet, ask them about that afterwards. And hopefully, I sent something home. If I haven't, remind me, and I will send that home via email as well. But we're trying to get the orders for those in by the end of this week, so hopefully students can get those for next week. We're going to head outside, I think, on the 29th, and we're going to start. The 7th grade is going to start working on the music starting tomorrow, and then the 8th grade, we're going to wait probably until Friday. Also, we're going to play one song. We're going to actually record one song tomorrow, and we have all these 8th graders here. We weren't able to get them all into the concert tonight. I didn't feel like. It was just too much for the chops a little bit. So we're going to play a song, Alligator Alley. It's a bassoon feature, and I'm going to try to record that and send that to you. It may just be an audio recording. It may be a video. We'll find out. We're going to try to do a recording tomorrow and send kind of a concert after the concert, a little something extra, and we'll send that to you tomorrow. This next piece, actually this week, and part of what we're still working towards on concert band music is on April 25th, Carpentersville Middle School, their 8th grade band will be coming, and it'll be sort of an exchange program. They're going to play that day, and then we'll also play. So we're going to play for them, they're going to play for us, and we're both going to work with a clinician who's going to be coming, a retired band director from Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, excellent musician, and she's going to be working with both groups. And the song that we're going to be doing is this classic of wind literature. This is Overture for Winds. Before I forget, I need to recognize one musician. Did I recognize Morgan yet? Oh, sorry. At what is it, 3:15, I found out that one of our alto saxophonists wasn't going to be here today. And I was like, boy, I wonder who can, and I was like, Morgan, I wonder if she can make it. So I was like, Morgan, can you play the concert tonight? She's like, yes. So on short notice. So she is basically sight reading much of this music tonight. So I'd like to recognize Ms. Morgan Nelson, senior at Sycamore High School. She'll be playing her saxophone at the University of Minnesota, I believe. Yes. And she's tried out for the Golden Gophers marching band up there, and she's going to represent Sycamore very well, as many of our students have gone on to do in recent years, and more than recent years. So anyway, I talk too much. They know that. This is Overture for Winds. And now we're going to try to control the chaos and have the seventh graders come up. Hopefully everybody knows where they're going to, and we're going to play 3 more songs to carry you through the rest of the night. So, including the much awaited Bohemian Rhapsody, the premiere of Bohemian Rhapsody at Sycamore Middle School. So, hold on.
Are you guys moved all the way down? I think we probably need to move one down. That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. You guys do what you need to do. If you need any more stand, let me know. Hey guys, there's still one empty one down here. We all need to be down one. Trumpets, saxophones, down one.
So this is always one of the more exciting times of the year when we get to put the 7th and the 8th grade bands together and they start hearing what it can sound like in a larger setting. You know, one of those larger settings obviously is high school. And I just think high school band is such a wonderful and valuable experience. And it's not just social and it's not just musical. It's about leadership. It's about accountability. It's about working together in a group to create something, ideally something beautiful. You know, that's one of the things that we do for the enjoyment of others, and we feel good about that. And with that takes a certain amount of discipline. With that takes, and everybody who's on this stage has my respect because they have gone through, at least 3 years, maybe 4 years of working, honing what they do at such a level that I'm very, very proud that we're going to be able to play for Carpentersville Middle School. And I'm very happy to have them play for anybody. Just super proud of these guys. This piece right here, I just kind of pulled it on a lark, and it's actually quite a moving piece of music. It's called Moscow 1941, and it's essentially about the siege of Moscow. The German troops were about 15 miles outside of Moscow. They were on the outskirts, essentially. And then they ran in, I believe in November 1941, they ran into severe cold and they never did advance on Moscow. But it's kind of an epic story, and we were able to kind of talk about that in here and kind of create some connections to the story. So anyway, this is Moscow 1941. There's so much to talk about, and I'm sorry, I'll go quickly with this. This Saturday, there's so much going on right now. This Saturday, we have the third annual Sycamore Music Boosters mattress sale that will be held at the Sycamore Middle School from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. This has been a really successful fundraiser for us. Basically, a company comes in and they bring in like a bunch of mattresses. You can sit on them, you can lay on them. They basically they're all over the commons. They might say gymnasium, it's not. It's in the commons area at Sycamore Middle School, and they'll have representatives there from 10 to 5 that day. And you'll see the occasional Music Boosters representative there. Feel free to talk to them. By the way, we have our last meeting of the year on May 16th. It's the third Thursday. Again, this is such a wonderful, the Music Boosters, it's a great way to kind of keep an interest and kind of keep involved in your child's life without, well, not necessarily hovering, you know what I'm saying? That, and also some of the opportunities, I know Ken Goodman will be talking about this as far as like being, band dads and bad moms, for especially the 8th graders going into 9th grade next year. So that's going to be happening. So anyway, this Saturday, 10 to 5, Sycamore Middle School, check that out. Okay, this doesn't really need a lot of introduction. So yeah, we're actually we're two percussionists shorthanded tonight. So we're literally figuring it out as we're going along tonight. So anyway, so I'm really proud of all of the jobs they're doing tonight. They're doing a great job. This last piece. I don't know. Anyway, before we do it though, I just want to thank all of these students for all of their attention to detail, for working on this music, for just being so wonderful to work with. In the case of these 8th graders, for the last 3 years, really 4 years since 5th grade. So I'm just so proud of these guys and just what they've been able to accomplish. And I really look forward to seeing what they can accomplish in the next few years as well. There's so much talent on this stage. I'm really just blessed to work with them. Again, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for making music, for allowing music to be an important part of your children's lives. I just think it's such a powerful, formative experience for these guys, and I just can't recommend it enough. Me, whomever, music is wonderful. So anyway, thank you, Mr. Garth Anderson, for helping and corralling these guys without use of a cattle prod. I really thank you for not resorting to anything. Great job. Thank you guys for being easy to work with today. So the last piece, it may sound a little strange to you guys. A lot of them kept on playing this song that goes do ba ba da 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 do do, and they're like, and I'm like, what's that from? And they're like, oh, that's from Lazy Town, Mr. Mertens. I'm like, Lazy Town? Oh yeah, from Sprout. I'm like, Sprout? What's Sprout? They're like, it's like Nickelodeon but for kids. I'm like, isn't Nickelodeon for kids? No, like it's for little kids. I'm like, okay. But many of them were playing it just independently, and I'm like, okay, well, why don't I just I listened to it, and it's like a ska tune, and I'm like, well, how cool is it to do a ska tune in middle school? Because it's got chick and chick and chick and chick. So listen for that sort of rhythm, and I was like, that's actually a really good teaching tool. They've got to really be on top of those offbeats. So and it's just a lot of fun. So this song is called "We Are Number One." Sycamore 7th and 8th grade, Sycamore Middle School 7th and 8th grade bands. We're going to need some help from these guys as far as clearing the stage, because we have another thing going on here tomorrow. A lot of percussion to move back. So many hands make light work. So those of you who can help band members, go ahead and help the percussionists out. Just grab something once you put your instruments away. So we'll be out of here in just a little bit. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great night.